Afternoon. I would like to take you to the world of endoscopy. So I'll be presenting my paper on the topic, Transforaminal Endoscopic Lumbar Discectomy in Migrated Disc Prolapse, a study of 169 patients, and it's the largest study till date available in the literature. Okay. So introduction. Transforaminal endoscopic discectomy, basically it has emerged as a promising minimal invasive alternative to the traditional open discectomy. However, its effectiveness in the high-grade disc herniation is debatable. Still, it's in such scenario, it is considered as technically demanding and challenging. To expand the applicability of transforaminal lumbar discectomy, surgeons have adopted procedures like foraminoplasty, transfacetal approach, suprapedicular and transpedicular approaches. So the aim of the study is to analyze the outcome of transforaminal endoscopic lumbar discectomy in migrated disc prolapse of 169 patients in terms of VAS score, ODI score, MACNAP score, and also the surgical time, fluoroscopic time, and the complication. Basically, it's a retrospective single-centered hospital-based observational study conducted since May 2013 with April 2022. The study place was Tavia Spine Hospital and Research Institute, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and it's a tertiary care center. The inclusion criteria were skeletally mature patient with lumbar disc herniation with vertical intraclavicular migrated disc extrusion or sequestration either from the L1, L2 to L5, S1 level, foraminal, extraforaminal soft disc bulge, and disc bulge without craniocaudal migration were excluded from the study. Also, the conditions like Cauda syndrome, tumor, infection, they are also excluded, and the clearance approval was taken prior to the starting the study. So here we get an MRI of a patient to know the extent and level of pathology. Intraoperative fluoroscopy examination is done to ensure the correct positioning of the endoscope, and successful removal of the migrated disc is in terms of intraoperative finding, that is probing, visualized fluttering, dural pulsation, fallback of the dural root, and any additional residual fragment that is non-symptomatic, that is in such patient is observed with explanation. And we have developed a new term, it's a live intraoperative monitoring, since all the cases are performed on the local and sedation. So we have performed the 4 techniques in this case. That's an inside-out, outside-in, suprafacetal technique, and transpedicular technique. Inside-out technique with the all low or high migrated disc with some fragment attached to the parent disc is taken into consideration. Outside-in technique, all completed, sequestrated, or high migrated disc, we offer outside-in technique. Large, fresh, that is less than 3 week, highly migrated fragment, we offer a suprafacetal technique. And sequestrated, detached, very high migrated fragment, which are inaccessible by any other approach, we go for a transpedicular technique. So these are the things. So I'll be focusing on the case 1. That's a 35-year-old gentleman that in the MRI directly it shows the high down migrated right-sided disc prolapse. And post-op, we have a protocol in our institute of getting, the, like after the procedure, the patient has to go immediate post-operative MRI. So in case if there's an inadequate decompression, we can get a, we can again take it to the OT, but it has never happened till date, luckily, touching wood. Case 2, 43-year female with a very high migrated left disc reaching below the L5 pedicle, and in which we have offered an outside-in technique with an endoscopic bud foraminoplasty, and we have achieved a very nice decompression as seen in the post-operative MRI. Case 3, that's a 58-year-old gentleman with a high up migrated right-sided disc prolapse reaching L4 pedicle, and inside-out technique without foraminoplasty was offered in this. So the result, these are the variable, the duration, that's a return to the, so the duration of conservative treatment offered was 5.6.2.3, 1 by 13, variable. So return to the basic work, the main aim was return to the basic work was within 19.5 to 3.57 days. So there was a significant improvement in the VAS score, ODI score, complication most were also faced. So as compared to the various studies in the literature, so far it's the only center and the only institute which has conducted a study on 169 patients. So my master always says more is a number, more is a complication. So we might have a greater complication, but that was resolved over a period of time. So the limitation is basically it's a retrospective study and high procedural cost. Cases with calcified disc or coexisting stenosis were omitted. I would like to conclude, like basically it's a highly effective and safe surgical technique.